Okay, let's do something a little different to start here. You asked about adding bass. So let's do a little tutorial on how to add things to old Guitar Pro here. And what I'm going to do is add bass and drums. Hang on, I'm trying to adjust the size of this window. I want the whole thing to be seen. Alright, there we go. Okay, so what we want to do, and this is, I want to show you this so you can add stuff on your own as well. If you want me to keep adding things, that's fine, I'll do that. But I figure if you want to go back to older stuff and add things in, now you'll know how. So what I would do first is turn that on. So this little panel up here in the middle, because we're going to see all the different tracks down here. So we're going to go up to track, add, and let's start with, we're going to go to stringed here. And usually I just go between stringed and drums, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can add in here. But we'll start with string, obviously go to bass, and we'll go with electric. Now, because we're using a 7-string guitar, it would probably make sense to use a 5-string bass. And you have standard tune. Okay. So adding that in, now I used to use the bass, but I want to see both things. So what we do, if you adding a track also does the same thing, and you only see the one, come down here and click on that guy. Right there. So that'll give you the multi-track view. So the easiest thing, what I'm going to do first here, so I'm using arrows on the keyboard to move around, and I'm using plus sign. See how that's changing the note value there? And minus sign to also change the note value. So if you hit plus, it will decrease the length of the note. I would think it would be minus, but perhaps when we go plus, it's like adding speed. Let's think of it that way. Hit plus to add or make it faster. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, so you can hit R to create a rest symbol, or you can hit enter and that will also make a rest symbol. So what I'm going to do to give myself a template is mimic what's up above. So you do rest symbols like I'm doing now, or yeah, let's just go with that. So 8th note, 16, 16. So we go in 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all of beat number 2, and then there's the 2 16s for the 3rd beat. 8th note, 8th note, 8th note. Another thing you could do is start typing out the fret numbers and change the note values as you go. I went with the rest symbols first because that's just what my brain went to. Because what I was planning on doing here is really just this and then making like a template so I can copy and paste things and then go through, change all of the notes to the correct root notes here. Alright. So let's see, up here, yep. Now I'm just going to go through, change all the bass notes to be the same root notes as the chords above. Alright, so here, you see, I better save before it crashes. That saw that little thinking circle come up. Like, oh no, don't crash. So all the second half of this is the root notes are all on the low B string. So what I'm going to do is highlight all that bass there, hit Alt. So hold down the Alt key and press the down arrow at the same time. So I also could have done this. Probably would have made more sense. Just highlight all that, hit R. There you go. Now it's all rest symbols. So doing the Alt and then down was just changing the frets, or just moving all the notes down to the lower pitch string. But it's not really relevant for this, because we're changing all the notes anyway. So rest symbols, if you just did that, well then you don't have to deal with changing the strings, because you're just filling in the notes. Anyway, let's continue on with that. And there we go. And Control S. I don't know if we've talked about that, but that is the hotkey. Hit Control and S at the same time to keep saving your work as you go. Alright, so now we got the guitar and the bass going, and you can always adjust the volume of each instrument down here. So now that's in there. If you want to get extra creative and have something to follow along to, we'll go back to track, add, we'll go to drums. And I just go with the first thing, drums, drum kit. So there is our third track now. Now to enter these things, what we want to do, let's see, we go up to View, and then Show Drum Kit View, which brings up this little guide as to what we want. So I basically put my instead of like putting like fret numbers, I just click on what it is I'm looking for. So I think one of the easiest things to do here is just have the kick drum emphasize everything that you're playing. Let's start with that. We're going to do the same kind of rhythm again. So 35 or 36, both kick drums, okay? Come over here, I click on that note again because I just want to make sure that I'm working over in this thing and not over here. So hit that. What I'm going to do is hit the letter C. That copies it. I do that, and then I'm going to change the note value. Hit plus. So now it's 16. Hit copy again, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Copy again, hit the minus sign to turn the 16th note into an 8th note, and then copy 2 more times. Alright, so now we got the kick drum doing stuff. So a typical drum thing is to have the snare hit on 2 and 4. So the downbeats of 2 and 4. So just use your arrows to move your cursor into the right spot. You can also just click if you want to. I like using the keyboard. So anyway, go over here, make sure you hit the snare hit, not side stick. So put that in for the 2, put that in for the 4. And like a common thing, let's see what it sounds like with the hi-hat. We'll do open, and we'll play it quarter notes here. Let's see how that sounds. So I'm going to double click there so it's going to loop just that section. I'm going to turn off the count in and the metronome and just listen to how the drums sound there and see, do I like how that goes? I think I'm going to change it to have the hi-hat play every 8th note. And you can change this to however you like. And actually, let's get rid of all the hi-hats. And I'm going to turn it into a ride cymbal instead. I think that might sound a bit better. Oh, where is it? Right up here. Choke? No, I don't want it to choke. Right in the middle. That might be good. Let's see how that goes. Yep, I like that better. Alright, so we'll go back. What I'm going to do is copy this. And I'll go just paste, paste, paste. And then I'm also going to come back here to the start, turn the ride off, put the crash in, and then copy that, paste it, paste it, paste it, and then put in a kick, crash to end it all. Make sure you turn this into a whole note. Control S to save, and here we go. Let's check it out. Turn the loop off here. So what you may want to do is turn the count in back on. So this way you actually have a count. I need to put this back down to 1 bar. All right, here we go. Now, when you're ready to follow along with just the bass and the drums, just come down here to the guitar and mute it. All right. Speaking of being ready to play along, let's give that a go. Okay. Oh, I thought I turned the volume up. Apparently not. So like the same thing as yesterday. Had no volume when we started. All right. Down a little bit more. Here we go. Here we go. That's not loud enough. All right, from the top again, now that I can hear it. And there we go. All right, moving on. Number 2. Metronome time. And yes, remember the goal is to be able to play number 1 without any warm-up at the 125. That's the goal, but take your time with it. If you need to work anything up, I would do no more than 4 bars at a time. Even 2 bars might be plenty. All right, number 2, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2. 2 and 3 and 4 and a 2 and 3 and a 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you'd like to work on those palm muted, that's totally fine. Alright, speaking of palm mutes, here we go, all downstrokes, number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twenty. 1, 2, 3, 4. $160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Start 2 strings at a time, descending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrong. I still need to learn my 7 string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that was the G and high B string. Now the D and A strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the low E and B strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And let's see. Right. So this, so you're just taking, gonna take all this stuff here and move it up. So you start on the E string and then you move that up so it starts on the A string and so on. So we got the 7 sus2s and 7 sus4s to go through. All right, so any questions, let me know. I will see you again next week.